Are you ready, kids?
Andy's ready. Day's ready.
No,
I'm
man.
ready.
I'm ready.
Nick is ready.
Ready, Eddie.
Well,
Oh!
But did he masturbate at work?
nope.
Welcome to another fine episode of Pillow Talk with short but stout Dave, beautiful Andy, big penis Nick, and mastermind myself, Roger. Dave, you brought us here today desperate to talk to us. What were you so desperate to talk about? If it's bad, I'm leaving.
Just wanted some companionship, man. No, fuck it.
That's disgusting.
Gross.
So, it would have been cool to talk about, Gamescom going on over the weekend, but Gamescom's a piece of shit, and there's nothing good. There's nothing fucking good at all to talk about.
Let's talk about how it was terrible.
It was a steaming pile of garbage, and there was nothing worth looking at, and it was a confusing mess as to finding what you were supposed to be watching to even see any of this stuff.
Yeah, that was stupid. You gave me the link for the YouTube stream, and I'm like, cool, we'll watch this. And then the stream stopped, and I'm like, well, I know it's still going on. Where the hell's the other streams? And then I saw
opening night was the only fucking straightforward thing that they had. Everything else is all these weird ass random IGN videos that were just sporadic. And I mean, there's a bunch of developer interviews for games no one cares about. I'm sure there were some decent games in there, but it was just way too fucking frustrating to find any information and where you were supposed to watch stuff. So I just gave up and didn't give a shit.
Yeah, same. I was like, okay, this ain't worth my time. I'm like, don't make me hunt down links.
So instead of all of that nonsense, I figured we could go back to our little FF7 discussion and just kind of talk about remakes, remasters, ports, reboots, that sort of thing. So I guess we can start let's
I hate him. The end.
So what in your eyes justifies a remake versus a remaster? Let's start with that.
Well, I could say,
it doesn't necessarily need to be an RPG or anything, just any game whatsoever. So what do you think deserves a remake versus a remaster, or does it even need a remaster? Is a port enough? Thoughts, boys?
well, I think if the original game has what is widely considered to be dated mechanics, then it makes sense to remake it. Games that's actually hard to go back to because of all the quality of life improvements we've seen. Then sure, but whereas just a straight up port would be more necessary if the original game still holds up well, but you're just looking to play it on modern hardware, introduce it to maybe a new audience, younger audience.
Well, I mean that's still a little remake versus remaster there, because even with a remaster, they don't always just leave everything the way it was and pretty it up. Xenoblade is a good example of that. They made a shit ton of quality of life improvements.
Right.
But that
kind of blurs the line. Is it just a straight up port, or is it actually a remake, or is it just a little bit of both?
Well, I'd put that in the remaster category, because they added a bunch of quality of life improvements. They did swap out the models, but it's still effectively running off of the original engine. So same underlying code is all in there. Same structure, all of that.
I see it as the difference is how much work was put into what was changed, because I feel if it's a huge overhaul, that's a remake. If it's just, like you said, kind of cleaning up, but even adding not necessarily just updating graphics and stuff, but adding a few new things to fix stuff, that'd be more of a remaster.
Well, and if you really want to get fucking crazy with something, where the fuck does was it the Kingdom Hearts, the HD version of the first one, where the fuck does that fall? Because I don't know if you'd heard about that, but they basically did have to recreate that from the ground up because they lost so much of the original stuff.
I feel that was a bit more of a special case, more of a technicality in that one, because that's
but they did.
Really.
Yeah, like they did build it to function the same way as the original one did. Like I don't know how much they had for
Not for
code.
better or for worse. But I think even, like a lot of the old problems that game had is still there. So it's like they did a lot of work, but that's more like just because they're idiots, not because they actually wanted to remake the game.
Yeah,
But
so like
I don't know why. I think Square Enix just seems to be kind of notorious for that because apparently that's why the FF8 port took longer to come out with. I think was for the same reason because like a lot of the original code was lost.
like code assets, all of that. So like technically speaking, it is a ground up remake, but it's remade to be a prettied up version of the original versus like, oh, well, the original didn't have like these fluid dodging mechanics or whatever the fuck you want to say. Like it still feels similarly janky to what the original one felt like.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a thread on V right now. Remaster is shittier than the original. What's her name, V? So I'm looking at that right now. Ah, I see a good old classic picture already.
Is it a soy jack?
What? No.
Old good, new bad.
Soul versus soulless.
It's that one.
It's beautiful.
But I mean,
Good stuff.
it is convenient that I'm like pretty much right off the heels of playing the Wonderful 101 remaster, because like that one does seem like very much like a game that like I don't know, it's been a while since a pretty long time since I played the original, so it's hard to really say it was different other than like some of the controls, because you can't really use, I mean, I guess they do have the touch screen, but you don't have the gamepad like you did. But that one really is like mostly the same thing, just with like touched up graphics and stuff, but I could not speak to gameplay wise what is exactly different about that one.
I hear it runs slightly worse. Like it can't hold the same consistent frame rates as the Wii U one, which is surprising.
I did get a little bit of like slowdown when like shit got real crazy, but again, I couldn't. That's something I couldn't really remember if the Wii U one did that or not.
I don't think it did. This Wii U one ran very smooth.
I gotta say, like, while I do like this remaster, because I never actually owned the Wii U one. I borrowed it. It's a lot more difficult, not like, because if you want to actually draw the shapes to do the different Unite morphs, you have to play like handheld. There's no real way to do that if you want to play on your TV. So instead, you have to use the right joystick to draw the shapes. And that can get very, very difficult when you get the more complicated ones, like when you have to do like make like the little hammer thing for Wonder Yellow or something like that. Gets pretty
Really?
annoying.
Because that's how I always played it, by just using the right joystick to draw.
I always drew on the screen.
Oh, I mean did you play it on the Switch, Roger, or are you talking the original?
The original.
Well, the Wii U gamepad sticks are a lot better than the fucking Joy-Con sticks, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'm using a wired classic controller. So I'm not using Joy-Cons because there's no way I'm using those.
So I haven't gotten the remastered version yet, but when I do, it'll be on the PC, and I'll be using an Xbox One controller for that. So
I mean, I had no problem with it with this controller. I don't know. I guess maybe I was used to actually just drawing the shapes because that seems so much easier to do with like a touch screen.
Yeah, it would be clunky anyway, like because with the Switch screen, you basically have to use your finger unless you have like a stylus that's meant for it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, like when I was doing a lot more stage building in Smash Bros, I actually picked up a stylus specifically for that because it is terrible with your finger.
right. So, like on the topic of remakes, like, do you guys actually think it's like good for the industry when they come out with them, or do you guys like just get annoyed, like, oh, another cash grab remake? Like, what's your opinion on them in general?
I mean, that's difficult to say just because it really depends on what the game is, and I have my own personal biases of like, oh, well, I liked this game a whole lot, so yeah, a remake seems cool, but by and large, it seems kind of shitty as a whole, I guess.
I'm honestly pretty indifferent to it, really.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, like if it's kind of a smaller developer like that doesn't have a big publisher behind their name and they're just looking to kind of make some money in like between releases to fund their more legit new projects, and then that's understandable. But like you never really know if they're just trying to be greedy or if they're actually being legit about it. So
Well, like you see a lot of what's happening these days. Like there are a fuck ton of remakes and remasters coming out, and it seems like every goddamn day there's a new one.
for it. But yeah,
And you look at it and it's just like, oh, great, another fucking remake of something we've already had. And I think what largely gets me about it is a lot of them, I don't know, it's all like shooters and stuff, and typical action games. Like the Trials of Mana remake, that one was a bit more exciting to me because that's something that's not like super well known. It's a bit more of an overlooked title, so
Yeah.
it's nice to see something like that come back. But it seems like these days we're seeing a lot of remakes of shit that came out like fucking GameCube era and whatnot, and it's like, oh, what's the point? It's not that
60 era where like really the
it's
only
not that
improvement
fucking old yet.
or something. It's like okay, like I understand bringing the old games back for a newer audience, but a lot of this stuff like is just like not only a couple years old. It's like, couldn't you have at least waited until you can be nostalgic for it? Well, another thing that kind of gets me is that like, a new game will come out, I'll spend $60 on it and I'll play it and I'll really like it. And then like, a couple years later they come out with like a remastered version of it. So I'm just thinking, okay, if I ever want to play that game again, do I just play the old version? Like that's the arguably inferior version, or do I actually track down the remastered version and spend more money on it?
Yeah, shell out another
Is
Is it
$60.
worth it? Like
I've felt like that with
they charge like a full price for it.
with Shadow of the Colossus, because I only ever played the original one, and now there's like are there like 2 remasters of that?
Yes, there
Yeah.
is there's like the
there's one
HD.
that's an HD port, then there's one that actually is like a full on
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
up-res one.
I wanted to replay it.
There's the HD remaster or re-release, whatever you want to call it, that was on, I think it was PS3.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I think it was PS3. And then for PS4, they did the PS4 one's actually a remake because it's completely new engine, different dev team, different assets, and like they tried to get like that's borderline another Kingdom Hearts-ish situation because they tried to make it seem like the original, but this time things do feel a little bit different, and they even introduced their own slew of odd, buggy quirks.
Huh. I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, because I was thinking like how I've wanted to replay it for the longest time. I'm never sure if I should just play the one I have on PS2 or get one of the newer ones.
I mean, I'd say it's kind of up to you. I personally would go with the PS3 HD one because then you can also get Ico if you want it. I still haven't even played Ico, and I don't care that much, but
Stuff's got Ico anyway, so I can always just borrow that if I really wanted to.
But yeah, that one comes with Ico versus the remake for PS4, which does not.
But also something funny that I find is basically remakes or more remasters, I guess, or ports are kind of just completely destroying the Wii U and any reason to have one at this point.
Yeah.
Because almost every good game from the Wii U is now on the Switch.
Right.
And I can't say I blame them for that. Like I'm not super okay with the whole situation, but it's not because they keep porting everything over, because I mean, let's face it, the Wii U fucking flopped. It wasn't a horrible system, but you could tell the Switch is closer to what they wanted the Wii U to be, and the Wii U had just god awful marketing.
Yeah, I always kind of said the Wii U's it's like the missing link before the Switch. But I kept just saying, I'm like, when are they going to come out and finally do Pikmin 3 on the Switch to just completely cement the Wii U's obsoleteness?
And
yeah, Pikmin 3 was kind of the last one. Like, is there really any Wii U exclusives that anyone cares about left?
I mean, unless you want to go back to that Smash Bros, or if you want to play the first Splatoon.
Yeah, or maybe Star Fox Zero, but like nobody cares about that.
I mean, the only reason I use it at this point is it's now my Earthbound machine because I have Earthbound on it.
Yeah, or like if I feel like playing an old Wii game or something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's
Well,
because like, yeah, the
we'll
Switch
always-
doesn't have a proper like virtual console service. So yeah, that's basically all it is for me too.
We'll always have Nintendo Land, though. I doubt
Yeah.
they'll port that.
Yeah.
I really doubt they'll port that.
I don't
I
know,
don't
maybe.
Like because
Dude,
a lot of
we
that, most of those games use the gamepad in
But if
ways
we
that
could play it, well, yeah,
the
but if
rest
you could
of
play it
really-
online, then it would be different.
I don't know. Like I feel like the appeal of Nintendo Land was like being in the same
True.
room and screaming at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
If you played it online, I just feel like it would get boring like instantly.
If they ported the Mario 3D World,
Oh no, they haven't, so I guess
They
that
have
would be
not.
number one.
yeah,
They have not, but there's rumors which have been persisting for months and months and months of like the 3D Mario All Stars game and all that shit. Which
oh yeah, that actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Well, especially you could play the Mario Galaxy games like all upscaled and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'll say the one thing that I think is shitty about all of the ports that they're pushing to the Switch isn't that they're doing it, it's that they're continuing to charge like the full $50-$60 for them.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
come on,
I think
man.
it should be at least like $40.
That's
'Cause, like,
Nintendo, baby.
yeah,
thing
they
is,
always
like-
do that.
Like since the Wii U was pretty much like really obscure to most people, when they come out with these Switch ports, most people probably don't even realize that they're an old game.
Yeah,
Like if they don't follow the industry really close, they're like, oh, so they don't mind paying $60. And it's like you guys are being scammed basically.
Yeah, and like I don't blame them at all for doing it because the Wii U flopped. No one fucking had one. So like, yeah, it makes sense to try to recoup the costs of those games and also just get them out there so more people can enjoy them. But
Right.
$50 to $60, come on. There's no way it needed that cost for just the development of porting them over. No
Right.
fucking
they should bring back Miiverse.
They should, so then we can get all of the weird fucking posts that would show up in Miiverse.
And then we can get the
Yeah.
Miiverse stage back in Smash Bros.
Honestly, they need to just like actually put Mii's back in the limelight instead of having them be practically hidden on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're the
Such a huge
Mii's
part of
are
the Wii era, and now they're just like kind of forgotten.
well, Mii's are now the equivalent to what the Xbox avatars are, just kind of there.
Yeah.
Well, they're barely there because they're fucking hidden off in a settings feature that most people aren't even going to realize is there until
Well, that's true.
until you boot up something like Mario Kart and it's like, oh, select
Yeah,
your
that's
Mii.
when
And I'm like,
first
my
found
what?
it was when I played Mario Kart.
What is this me you speak of? Who is me? Am I me?
No, you're you.
Then
Who am
are-
me?
But then who
I'm
are you?
me. You're you. I'm me. You're you.
Who
If I
I?
am me
No, we are
And-
we.
and you are me, then who is phone?
Lol.
My God.
Epic XD.
Bear is driving? How can that be?
How can that be? I said it every time Bear drives.
Turns out she doesn't have her license.
She does kind of drive a little crazy. It scares me.
Do you also sing she drives like crazy?
No, but I will now.
Got him.
Folks.
And I'm afraid for myself.
So, a question I don't think any of us did ask during
No.
the FF7 one. Do you think the FF7 remake needed to happen? Like, we all agree that the battle system was fucking cool and all that, but do you think that remake needed to happen, or
I mean,
would you have rather seen basically that engine and that battle system in an original game? Like, would you have rather seen that be like FF16 or something like that?
yeah, I mean, I kind of said it in the thing that, like, when I first heard that this remake was going to be a thing, I rolled my eyes because FF7 has just been milked to death. So, yeah, I really don't think it needed to be happen. I'm fine that it did happen, but,
I don't think it needs to be 50 or so parts or whatever it's going to be.
oh, God.
Well, that's kind of how I feel too. Like I would have preferred to see an original game because like they clearly have like, the battle system down and, the overall like structure of the game planned out. If they actually had an original theoretical Final Fantasy 16, Like, I think that would have been just
Better.
yeah. I mean, I do love what they did with. I mean, whisper stuff aside, what they did with like the other stuff, the stuff they added and stuff. But at the same time, I feel like it's just a bit of a missed opportunity that they put that much effort into something that's not
That or
100.
I would have liked to see like a different Final Fantasy VII remade, or different Final Fantasy remade like that. I mean, 7. Just because, like I said, I'm just kind of tired of 7. It would have been nice to see not a lesser known one, but one that's not quite as popular as 7.
Yeah, I still stand by. I think FF8 would be amazing done in that style.
Same.
Like, I even gave it a lot of thought of like how they could do it too. Like they could have like the first part would end basically, when they get to the Galbadia, the parade stuff. Like,
Well, yeah, just where the first disc ends.
you would have to add like some kind of ending dungeon though, because that part doesn't really have it. But like it would be the perfect segue into because then part 2 would start right at that flashback with Laguna and stuff, and then it could end basically, when Ultimecia takes over Renoa, and then like part 3 could basically just be like Esthar and stuff. Like I think that would be amazing. But like above all else, it'd be cool to just see an original Final Fantasy done in that style.
Yeah, but now we won't. Whatever 16 will end up being will probably have a different battle system, which hopefully
it won't even be made by the same like team, because I'm pretty sure FF7 remake was made by a different team than FF15 was.
Like I said, I did like FF7 remake. I do see the attachment to the characters now, whereas I just didn't before. Before I didn't really give a shit, so they did a good job with characterization and all that. I like what they did, whispers aside, but yeah, I am sick of FF7 as a whole too, so I agree. Just taking all of that and making FF16 with it would have probably been my preference. Just so long as
like assuming that they made FF16 actually have like a good story, unless they just like FF13 with it or something. But I mean, I think even FF13 would have been more enjoyable if it was like done in FF7 remake style.
Oh, definitely.
But that said, like, it wouldn't have fixed the story by any means, but it still would have been a more enjoyable game at least.
I wouldn't have felt like I wasted my time.
Mm-hmm. So, anyone have anything else to say on the topic of remakes?
Well, what do you think a remake should do?
Well, yeah, like I said, it should fix any or not necessarily fix, but update dated mechanics and just add quality of life stuff.
Yeah, remaster the sound, obviously make the graphics, shine them up nice and neat.
But do you think they should remake shitty games to make them better, or should we focus on games that are already pretty good?
I'm going to say yes, they should remake shitty games and make them better.
So,
all right, remake a Superman 64.
Well, that kind of brings me on like something I did want to mention, because I recently played Nier Automata for the first time.
You're a tomato.
Tomato.
Oh yeah, and I actually really liked it, and I do want to play the first game, but like the first game isn't that great from what I hear. But I guess they are actually remaking it. Like I heard that it's not just going to be a remaster. They're kind of giving it the Yakuza Kiwami treatment, and I'm like, okay, I'm all for that. So if they could do that with games like that had issues in their original releases, I'd be okay with that.
I really feel like that should be the focus.
When you say like touch up graphics and add like quality of life improvements and stuff, would you rather see things get like the FF7 treatment where they basically just change things that significally?
I would prefer it if they were more like the Command and Conquer remaster.
Well, that's a remaster though. It's not a remake.
Son of a bitch. You're right.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's on a game-to-game basis, though. It's
it's like the original was good enough, but there's a few always room for improvement. But then there's others where the original is just kind of a mess, and you'd be better off just starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 2, I think, is a good example, because that basically took the original RE2 and made it more like Resident Evil 4. So it more or less changed up the whole system and how you play it, but I think that and FF7, like if you are gonna remake something, I think those are just about the right way of going about it.
And then, I mean, on the games of Resident Evil, there's also the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, which like is the golden standard of like kind of remakes like that too.
Yeah, and
But-
that one's more like 1-to-1.
Yeah, it's mostly just
yeah.
it's a lot of fixing problems, updating graphics, kind of thing.
You know,
I've played both ones.
I will say, if we're gonna talk about games that like are good candidates for remakes, I would say horror games definitely fit that bill. Because with horror, the visuals are very, very important. If you're not afraid of what you're seeing on the screen, you're kind of losing a lot of the impact. So, like the Resident Evil games, I would say those remakes are 100% justified.
Dave, I gotta stop you for a second. Nick, are you masturbating?
No.
Show us what you're looking at.
I just hear this knocking noise coming from your side. And I'm just
Oh,
So I just assume you're.
Snake is getting ready to leave for work, so it's definitely not me masturbating because I would totally tell you if I was.
Post in the general chat what you're looking at,
Okay.
or in the podcast chat actually.
So he's probably just looking at that Broly picture you posted.
Well, no, not really.
Oh,
It's actually all right. I'm not going to post it because it'd be dumb too. I was actually looking at the old spore penis picture from David. I don't want to look at the Broly picture, so I scrolled up. So I'm like, okay, it's either the Broly picture or a penis, and I'm like, all right, I'll go with the penis.
Really?
Yeah. Or I
Excellent,
could keep going
excellent choice,
further,
my
and I
friend.
could get the freaking monkey shit or farting in his face.
You got against Broly. Little
I
tiny
don't really
cheeks.
like Broly. I just don't like seeing his freaking naked ass choking Goku or whatever that is.
I'm sorry, that was just really funny to me. Just something about saying it out loud just really drives home how stupid this picture is.
Oh, to the people who are listening to the podcast that won't actually be able to see this,
I mean, we can cut
unless
it
you
out.
edit it in.
Yeah, we could edit it in.
Well, then you're definitely
well,
not going to be able to
the
monetize it. But
I don't give a shit about. Well, we can't anymore because we.
not that we could anyway. But
Yeah, because we lost partnership because I don't remember what Google's requirements now. I think it's like you have to have 1,000 subs or something minimum
Yeah.
wow,
with a minimum watch time as well. It's like, screw you.
Yeah, YouTube sucks.
Nobody watches us. They watch for like. Well, it's funny.
do.
We get like 20 views, and if you look at the analytics, it shows like everybody drops off at like the 15-minute mark.
wow.
And if it was, if we did have ads, guess where I'd stick all the ads?
Yeah.
We do this for ourselves. This isn't for anybody else.
Like, comment, and subscribe, everybody.
But
Smash
fuck
that
you.
motherfucking like. Oh my god, I can't say that without killing
Go
myself.
fuck
I
yourself.
also love how half the comments that do show up are fucking like porn bots and shit.
Dude, I love bots. I've lost count on how many times I had to delete porn bot comments.
Dude, I used to get like those fucking bots on Facebook when I'd post something, and then Bozeman would like respond to them, and then I'd have to delete it, and then Bozeman would be like, "Oh no, I look like a crazy person." Like, well, don't fucking comment on the weird fucking bots.
You're commenting to a bot. Yes, you are a crazy person.
Well, I haven't touched Facebook in weeks now.
Oh, yeah, I basically actively avoid it nowadays.
I really should avoid it too.
I mean, I don't like having my day ruined like repeatedly on a regular basis. So yeah, I don't go on it.
Yeah.
So, video games.
No,
Yeah,
no,
let's not get on
depression,
that.
Fuck video games.
crippling depression, and video games. That's where I got it.
All from Fortune Street.
Oh, fuck you.
So
So-
I've actually beaten 15 games since the pandemic began because I've just had nothing better to do.
I wish I had time.
I haven't played too many, to be perfectly honest. Have not had that much motivation to play much.
Well, like I said, I don't really have anything else to do. So
Well, I mean, I did finish my backlog, but it wasn't 15 games.
Yeah.
I finally played Doom 2016. I'm finally getting on that bandwagon.
Well, yeah, I'd like to play that. I was thinking about playing that
It's all
next
right.
because I think I've been playing so many like RPGs and stuff lately. I think it's time I played a dumb shooter.
And the complete opposite. I've been playing too many stupid action games. I need an RPG,
Uh,
but I don't know what to play.
I'm
I'm
getting
thinking I
that.
might. I'm thinking I might finally try to play Pokemon, but I'm still just. I don't know about that one.
I'm getting that itch to fire up
there's better
Minecraft.
options out there.
What was that, Roger?
Getting that itch to fire up Minecraft again.
You know what? I wish I didn't ask you. Never mind.
Yeah,
I can play Fortnite.
yeah, that's a time sink I'd rather. I mean,
I played 2 games of Fortnite to see what was and I
to get into Minecraft, I'd probably lose way too much time to it. So
played 2 games of Fortnite and I hated every second of it. That's all.
Okay,
my-
Fortnite fucking astounds me as like I just don't understand how that game became as popular as it did. And I am convinced it is basically the same shit that happens every year for Christmas, where, you know, like there's the new hot Christmas toy that fucking everybody wants, but you never actually hear kids talking about like how they want that. It's just the advertisements just get shoved down your throat of, oh, everybody wants Furby this year. Everyone wants Tickle Me Elmo. I swear to God, that's what happened with Fortnite. And then because they advertised it so much and got everybody playing it, well, now everybody is playing it, and they're only playing it because they think everybody else is playing it. So it's
Yeah.
like popular snake eating its own popular tail.
It's cyclical.
Having worked at Toys R Us for whatever how many years that was, yeah, I can confirm that toy thing was
I'm so sorry.
It's
like
yeah, I swear it's completely fucking manufactured.
it
Like
is because
now
within
it's literally popular, but
basically in around September, from what I can remember, we would get, like an internal newsletter saying, okay, these will be the top 10 toys that, Hasbro or Mattel has basically said we're going to go heavy and hard on marketing on this. And go figure, that's all the toys that we'd have in stock, and that's all the toys that people would be, pooping over.
well, you know what else is fucked about Fortnite? Like, I played that at PAX way fucking back, before it even came out. Like, I think I can't remember if it was an alpha or beta build, but what I played was nothing like what came out. It was originally like this co-op campaign-based thing where, like, it still had the base building mechanics, but it was more like a co-op tower defense sort of thing. And you were
no,
fighting.
that actually sounds like fun.
Yeah, like you were trying to
funner than what
defend
it
your
is,
base. You were trying to defend your base from a bunch of like zombie hordes or some shit. And it was still like the colorful art style and whatnot, but it had none of this battle royale shit. And then the game went completely fucking silent for like months until just before it was about to be released. And coincidentally, that was around the time where I think it was like Player Unknown Battleground or whatever the fuck the name was. That was starting to,
PUBG.
yeah, PUBG. That was starting to get like super popular on Twitch, and that wasn't even finished yet. But
Finished.
We're
like
also
that was like early access, and then mysteriously, all of a sudden, Fortnite is back in the limelight again, and it's now its own battle royale style game.
like originally like when the only two I ever knew for battle royales were PUBG and Fortnite. I thought that Fortnite at least looked better than PUBG because PUBG just looked kind of boring as shit. But nowadays there's like a ton of other. I just don't even like battle royales, but I feel like there's a ton that look way better than both those games at this point.
I like
Yeah.
the concept of it. I just don't like any of the executions right now. And I
Fall
don't.
Guys, it's decent.
That's more like MXC than battle royale, or at least
it's an elimination kind of thing.
Yeah.
To one guy.
I guess when I say battle royale, I mean like literally battle royale, like the novel, because that's where that whole concept comes from of just throwing a bunch of people in some.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
I die? What the fuck happened?
I was gonna say the best battle royale I played is Tetris 99, if that even counts.
Speaking of, oh my god, I almost got my first place in that one for the first time, but I came in second. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, best. I've gotten second like twice, and that's the best I've ever been able to do.
I've never been able to win.
Back to Fortnite, because
Yeah.
I still have some extra rants I have to make. I remember hearing something about the Fortnite story and PUBG and how that relates to it, and I want to say there was actually like some theft going on there, because I think it was like PUBG developer wanted to port everything to the Unreal Engine, so he had to like submit it to Epic to have them, review it to see if he could get the formal license for it. And yeah, sure enough, after he contacted them, then all of a sudden Fortnite is Battle Royale. Fishy.
Well, I don't think PUBG isn't even like the first game to do the whole battle royale thing, is it?
Yeah, it's Soviet joke.
No, well,
Popularized it.
it sort of is because it's based off of, what was it, an Arma 2 mod, but that mod was made by the PUBG developer,
Oh,
if I'm remembering that
I don't
correctly.
follow that closely, but yeah.
Well, if you go by Aaron's stupid joke campaign for their stupid Soviet jump game, that was actually the first ever battle royale. It's not.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, fuck Aaron.
I know, fuck him in the butt.
Also, even more fuck Epic and fuck Fortnite is this bullshit lawsuit situation between them, Apple, and Google. Because this is
Okay.
basically just like,
I'm hearing about that, but I'm not really familiar. Like, what's the deal with it?
so the TLDR of this is Epic wanted more money for their little V-Bucks or whatever the fuck they're called, like the in-game currency, but
Mhm.
Apple and Google both take like a 30% cut of any purchases made in app because that's the terms of service for even putting your shit on there.
Right.
And Epic wanted more money, so they basically cut the price of V-Bucks by a little bit and then put in something to bypass the Google and Apple Pay systems so that they can't have that 30% cut and all of it goes straight to Epic, which broke the terms of service, which caused both Google and Apple to remove it from the app stores. And then, like, the next fucking day, Epic launches a lawsuit against the both of them because, you're providing unfair terms of service and this should be free for all developers. You're taking too much of a cut, but really this is all fucking planned game to them, and it's just three big money companies just flopping dicks around with their big money dicks, and they're basically weaponizing their fans to try and fight their battle for them.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Especially since it sounds like Apple and Google kind of were well within their rights to do that. Because obviously they already have plenty of money, but still,
Well, yeah, like I don't.
using your service, so they got to get paid somehow. You know.
Well, like I don't want to defend anybody in this situation because really all three companies can go get fucked. Like
Right.
the 30% cut is scummy bullshit because, okay, Epic has no problem dealing with it because they're fucking huge. They're making money hand over fist anyway. But like small indie developers that try to launch games and other apps on that system, they have to deal with the 30% cut. And that's kind of fucking ridiculous, especially when both Google and Apple are as huge as they are. So like that 30% cut is horse shit. But at the same time, it is the terms of service, and Epic knowingly broke them. And now it's Epic's fault that all of their fans are getting dicked over on, the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, and why they can't like get their updates or play Fortnite or whatever the fuck. I don't even know exactly how it affects all of them, but it's their own fucking fault.
They just can't download a fresh copy of the game. I still think it gets regular updates, so I don't know.
Either
Whatever.
way, it's
Whoever wins, we all lose.
yeah. Like I don't want any of them to win, but legally speaking, Epic is in the wrong here, and I don't think they deserve to win any of this because they weren't doing it because they thought the 30% cut was unfair to everyone. They were doing it because they wanted more money.
Funny
They wanted
because
more fucking money that they don't need.
Apple released, I don't know, Apple's got like, you know, the warmonger of a legal department, so they can do this, but they released emails that Epic sent them.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It basically boiled down to Epic wanting special treatment because reasons.
Uh-huh. Yep. I was gonna mention that one too. Good catch, because yeah, that again just proves that they weren't in it for fairness for everyone. They're in it so they could just get more money for their own shit. And you know what makes all of this really fucking funny? Tencent owns 40% of Epic, and then they own like a good chunk of something that Apple has. So like there's two companies that basically have Tencent's dick down their throat fighting each other.
Wasn't Tencent like a Chinese holding company too?
Yep. Tencent needs to go get fucked too. There is nothing good about a conglomerate.
Yeah, well, I just hate how the Epic Game Store is basically brute forcing themselves into the industry instead of actually, you know, being
Offering competitive features.
Yeah, it's just like you're brute forcing themselves into it by taking away players' choice. So,
Still haven't installed it on this computer. Suck my dick, Epic.
oh yeah, I don't plan on supporting that at all. Like even if I have to wait like a year for a game to get it on Steam, like yeah, I will not get it on Epic because that's just
Yeah, and it's there's so many fucking things wrong with that. Like one, people are fucking sick of having to install all of these different launchers for everything. Like fucking Uplay and EA's whatever the fuck.
yeah.
Like Steam being a monopoly like it isn't great, but there have been other options like what was it, GOG?
Yeah,
Whatever
I
the
heard
fuck that
GOG
stands
is
for.
good too.
Geo is optional. You don't even need the launcher for that.
Yeah, so like it's not like there weren't other options. They may not have been as robust as Steam was, but you know, there were ways to get around Steam, and Epic is basically just trying to be the new Steam, and they're just buying up exclusives, and I don't fucking like it. And their storefront sucks from what I hear.
A shopping cart. Have they actually added a shopping cart yet?
I would hope so. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they didn't have a shopping cart when it first launched. Like, what are you doing?
And they didn't have one for a long time.
You know, that I don't know, just features like obvious features that are left out just kind of made me think that I'm surprised I didn't mention this when we were talking about remakes is the freaking Crystal Chronicles remaster and how they fucking dropped the ball with it. Like what the fuck? Like that's a feature that's quite obviously gonna, you know, deter people from buying the game like completely.
So I've been thinking about it, mulling it over, and I think we may be overreacting a little bit, but we might not. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we should at least give the trial version a go, since it's free and it's like the first 3 dungeons or whatever anyway. So like, what does it hurt? But yeah, it still does sound like a really fucking ass backwards way of doing things. Because I mean, if you remember when we played it way back when, the original, it was the whole draw was getting to play through the same adventure with up to 3 other friends, start to finish. And like, yeah, everybody's data had to basically be collected onto one person's system, but if you were going with the, you know, 4 people, 1 adventure whole way through approach, doesn't really matter as much.
Well, especially since back then you kind of were all in the same room, so chances are you were in close proximity to each other anyway. So having everything all on one memory card wasn't that big of a deal. But now it's like playing online, you kind of want to have your progress be saved. So that way, like maybe if there's somebody who's not available, like you can at least, you know, play without them, or maybe you can just, you know, go through a dungeon by yourself just to level up, you know, and then bring your guy over to the main game. But you can't even do that here. It sounds like you'd have to start over from the beginning.
Like if you're just playing with random people, I understand, but like it should be different if you're playing specifically with people from your friends list.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I see benefits to the system that's in place right now where it makes it very drop in, drop out, because a single in-game year was like what, 3 dungeons, something like that.
I think
I
so.
forget.
I'm pretty sure these are 2 or 3, but yeah.
Yeah, so like the benefit of the system that they have in place right now is it allows for a lot more flexibility with drop in, drop out co-op. Like say you just like assisting other players, so you could find someone who's hosting something that they just want help for one dungeon or whatever. But I still feel like there had to have been a better way, or just implement an extra feature. Like say when you sign into your file, give you 2 options, like one that's play solo and then one that is party up. And the play solo option basically puts you in the same exact system that they have in place right now, whereas the party up is you collect 3 or like up to 3 friends and you set out for the year and you're just locked in for that year. And then everybody gets progress, everybody gets all the equipment. Everybody gets access to, like, another thing the current system does not allow, period, like unless you are playing local, in which case I think there's still some fucked up stuff
No,
about
I heard that you can't play local at all in
You
this
can't.
one.
It's single player
Oh.
for only, and then it because like if you read the details, it says single player unless you're online.
I thought there was some sort of like local multiplayer option, but it's jank as shit, and like I don't know, I could be wrong, but either way, point I was getting at was the family trades, like the bonuses you could get from those with all 4 of us, we had picked different families, so we all had bonuses, and when we went to town, we could all benefit from each other's shit.
Yeah.
The current system that's in place right now, nobody can do that at all. Like,
yeah, like for me, the fun was that like we picked a party of 2, 3, 4 people, and you were kind of stuck together with that party, and like I don't know, there was a fun in like being comrades like that, but having just random people come and go, there's no camaraderie there. It's just kind of like whatever. Here's some random dude is gonna help me. Like I don't give a shit.
well, like you still can link up with your friends, but it's so fucking ass backwards for doing it, because you have to deal with like the weird little friend code system they have so that they can get the crossplay to work. Like crossplay is cool that you can do that,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
but it's at the expense of, well, actually, I don't even fucking know if it's really at the expense of everything else, because like I said, they could have done this differently. Like I said, just give 2 options, one that lets you play by yourself, and then if you decide you want to, you can do some on the fly drop in, drop out, and if you don't, you could do the party up thing, where it just starts you like that from the year, links everybody up to one host, everybody gets to go to the towns, everybody gets progress.
Yeah, or they could
If
have
somebody's not
really
as
ambitious.
far in the story, who fucking cares? Like,
Yeah, like I
who
was gonna
gives a
say,
shit if higher level players are giving boosts to lower level players? Oh, fucking well.
like that's how it is in Borderlands. Like if they were really ambitious, they could do it like how they do it in that game. How you could just jump into anyone's game and you'll complete the missions and you'll get the rewards for them. But if you go back into your own game, you at least have the option to skip those missions once you get to them, or you can do them. You just won't get the rewards for them, but you'll still gain experience and stuff. But I don't know if that would have been too tall of an order for them to add into the game. But like, yeah, it would be another way they could go about it.
I don't know. If they had access to enough of the source code to be able to make these changes to begin with and like add new dungeons and stuff, so I really don't think it should have been that tall of an order.
Yeah.
They fucked it up. I am disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
If you guys want, I mean, I'd still be happy to try the light one since it is free. But
yeah,
I downloaded it today.
I've got it on my system too. Like, I'd be willing to give that a shot. And I did think about it, and it's, like I said, it's possible we're overreacting a little bit, because if you do remember, there was repetition in dungeons before. Like, we did have to go back and do the same dungeons over and over again for, like, extra artifacts and just better gear. But, like, I think the the big problem with having to basically repeat things 4 times is that it's the amount of repetition that's necessary now, just to keep everybody up to date with the same progress.
Yeah, or we could just have one person be the dedicated host and just always play their game.
But like I said, if you're the problem with that is, are you thinking like the 3 people have the light version and 1 person buys it, or
I was just thinking we all buy it, so we all have access to the full game, but we just have one person always be the host, and then we just.
But here's the problem with that is you're still going to be locked on progress, because you can only join somebody's game if you get to the same position on the map as them.
Really?
And if you remember, from year to year, I think it was like up until like the end game, there'd be like extra miasma locking off a section of the map each year. So you could potentially run into somebody just straight up getting fucked, and the dungeon everybody else wants to go to, that person ends up having it locked off for the year. So nobody, like, they can't get to where everyone wants to go. So they either have to just stay out of it that year, or everybody has to, switch focus to some other dungeon that everybody can get to.
Man,
Shit sucks.
yeah, that just sucks.
So like
because it sounds like the best way to play it is to just kind of play it by yourself and then just occasionally jump in and help people if you feel like it. And it's like, that's not really how I want to do it. I want to just play through the entire game, beginning to end, with you guys.
and if you're being perfectly honest, that game's not that fun by yourself.
No, it's not like the game isn't worth playing by yourself. Like, the only reason why I wanted to play it because it would give us something to do together, just for co-op. But I don't want to deal with all that stupid bullshit.
Well, like, I'll put it this way: that game does not have enough single player depth to it. It's like playing glorified Gauntlet Legends, which who liked playing that by themselves?
Yeah,
Like, Gauntlet Legends was a fun as fuck game, but not alone.
yeah, alone you're just throwing shit at enemies repeatedly.
Like, I remember playing through the original one mostly by myself because that's just, I mean, we couldn't always all be around each other to play. That was just the time. But in this day and age, when online is such a big thing, how do you fuck that up?
I don't know. Like I said,
my only
it's such a bad issue that so many people that it will affect sales of the game, no doubt. If they would have just gotten this one thing right, it would have been fine. But
well, that begs the question of, like, do you think the fact that this could affect well, it probably will, but do you think the fact that this is affecting sales will cause them to actually go in and patch it? Or do you think they're just gonna cut their losses and be like, oh, well, I guess nobody actually wanted this?
Cut the losses.
Yeah,
they're gonna just act like it's a failure.
And they're gonna be like, okay, we're never gonna touch Crystal Chronicles ever again. Which, I mean, does anyone really care at this point?
I mean, I cared a little bit, but only because they presented the idea to me in the first place. If they hadn't fucking said anything, if they hadn't done this, I wouldn't have cared anyway. But now that they have done it, and they teased me with the possibility, and then that possibility is just ripped away, now I'm just mad.
I thought the whole point of having this remake now was so that because we could play it online with people, and they're just kind of ruined that.
And yeah, like I said, it's
like you used to. So
it is still technically doable to go through an adventure with everybody, but you're gonna lose the family trade bonuses, so you still only get to have your own. And unless people are willing to do dungeons with randos or play by themselves, you're gonna be repeating shit way more than you had to in the original.
Can't say I really feel like paying for that, so
it's only $30, but
still not the kind of thing I feel like spending my money on if it's gonna be a hassle to deal with.
Yeah, we can give the light version a try and see how that goes. And if maybe it seems worth it, we could consider it, but it still just sounds like such a fucking pain.
Right.
Can't believe they've done this.
This game sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shit with or like remasters with online in them now. You know what I fucking want to see?
Butts.
Just F-Zero GX.
Yes.
What game? I've never heard of this series before.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Even if it was just a straight up like no new features, just the exact same game, just with online added, yeah, that'd be great.
And that was the end of that discussion.
Yeah, not really a whole lot more to say about it, honestly, other than like what hasn't been said already. Like Nintendo's been ignoring that series. And
I missed
fuck
half of that conversation thanks to Discord, but yeah. I don't even need a new F-Zero game. Just fucking port GX and give it online.
I'm still not sure what we're even talking about.
But I don't know, must be some battle royale game or something.
Battle Royale on the GameCube. It was amazing. No one remembers it.
I thought Captain Falcon was just an original character they put in Smash Bros.
Isn't his name Douglas?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's take a look.
I feel
Yeah, I
like I
never
heard
knew
that too.
that.
Doesn't Sonic have like a real name too or something? I feel like I've heard that too.
That one would be news to me.
I think it might be like some unofficial like comic or something gave him like a real name, and Sonic was just like a name he gave himself or something.
It's Bart Lemming.
Wait, what? Sonic?
No, Captain.
Or
Bart, yeah.
then maybe Sonic is Douglas.
Hold on.
Which tells the first result.
Yeah, because there were a couple.
He's the current Captain Falcon in the anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be his son, because I know in like the GBA one, there was a guy who was like claiming to be Captain Falcon's son.
Okay,
in
here
that
it is.
one.
Douglas J.
Funny? Oh no, that's Yancey. Funny.
Well, no, it's Yancey is spelled with a J.
Yeah, it's
shit,
like
is it? Oh
No,
god,
I'm just kidding. But
that was like
No,
a soft
it's-
J.
what the fuck is that, like Swedish or whatever, where they pronounce their j with a y?
yeah, that's where German does that too.
It's like yogging.
You know,
So it's Douglas Jancy funny? Douglas Jancy Falcon funny?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Funny stuff.
Oh god. I just looked up Captain Falcon Douglas and this fucking picture. Like, what the hell is I don't like this.
I bet I like it.
I don't like it.
Ugh.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Shit. Is that actually what he looks like without his helmet on?
No, I got that from DeviantArt.
Okay.
Oh, there is. Oh, where's this from? F-Zero XGP. Oh, that does. Yeah, that actually is what he looks like, because there's this picture right here. No.
Oh, is it like the actual in-game model ripped out?
Not that one. Like, that's a fan remake. Oh, damn it, I don't have... I'll screen cap it. You can see all the tabs I have open.
Just use a snipping tool.
I don't have it.
It's standard with Windows.
It's not on mine.
You have Windows 10. It comes.
Yeah, it ain't there.
Oh, dude, you're on Co 2 right now?
But I don't know. I like using the one that we use at work. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's like a fan model made off of the F-Zero X picture.
Undefeated champion. English is not my first language.
Well, rousing discussion we've had, lads.
It sucked.
It sucks. It's wrong, and I hate it.
I don't like it.
Well, laddos, anything else?
No, not offhand.
No.
Well then, who has a question for us?
Didn't I do the last one?
I believe you did.
So whose turn is it then? I think it might be yours, Roger, because I know the first one I did with you guys, I think David did one, and then the second one, Andy did one.
Yeah.
So,
I come unprepared. Question. Let me think about this for a second.
I'm just glad to have options to look at instead of just Broly Butt or Penis Monster. Weird, awkward Captain Falcon with no helmet over that.
It's a good thing I can cut this blank silence out.
Now I'm just going to scream, ruin it somehow.
It's a good thing I can cut Andy out.
Yeah, he could still cut the screen. It would be a little bit more work.
No, it's a magic scream.
Or he could just cut you out entirely.
It ruins all audio.
What does Craig actually record all of us as separate audio lines?
Yes, indeedy.
Oh, That's cool.
I usually-
I could just like masturbate right now, and you could just cut me out, and leave everything else in.
God, what is it with you and masturbating?
He's a chronic masturbator.
Okay, well, here's my question. Would you like to have sex with Alex Mercer?
Oh boy.
Sure, it would be pretty kinky.
I'm not kidding. That's my question.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, my answer is no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no because I mean, yeah, it would be kinky, but you'd probably like die in the process because like most of his shit is like blades and stuff. Okay, wait, maybe a better question would be like, would you have sex with Alex Mercer, but like he promised not to use any of his powers?
Still no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, still a no.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's infected with a fucked up virus. Like you could. Well, actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, the wheels are turning.
Oh yeah, so maybe if you had sex with him, you would gain his powers then.
Yeah, like you could get like super AIDS from him that turn you into a horrible parasite blob monster,
But
and then you could do the same shit as he does.
the important thing is though is I don't know his power too much, but can he like transform his arms into like blades and stuff?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
can jump really good.
Oh man, that'd be a good back scratch.
I forget, could he transform himself into other people, or was it just
Yeah,
like
he
body
could like
snatching?
yeah.
yeah, he could like absorb people and like who absorb he could like take the form of for a bit.
I mean, that could get hot.
Wow.
Have him-
Okay, now I think we've all agreed that we've changed our.
On the condition that we can catch his well, on the two conditions. One, he promises not to use any blades or absorb us or any like basically anything that will kill us. And two, we can catch his super AIDS.
wear a condom.
But if he wears a condom, you don't catch his parasite abilities.
All right, so Dave's a yes. Nick is a yes. Andy,
Still a no.
no.
Okay.
Well then, we'll just turn into awesome super parasite monsters, and you'll just be left in the dust.
No, knowing my luck, I would just fucking die from it. So I'm not really gonna take those chances.
I thought you wanted to die.
Not like that. Sounds terrible. If anything, it's probably less like death, and I'll just like be absorbed into like some fucking like hive mind of him, and I'll be like still kind of living, but not. I don't know.
But at least you'll never be alone again.
Not still a hard no.
I'm glad we could ask the deep questions here on Getting Comfy.
Deep.
Mm,
Fucking deep. Brennan, long dick Brennan.
Brennan.
So our delightful 7 viewers that we have, if you've made it this far, would you have sex with Alex Mercer? Leave your answer in the comments.
And don't forget to smash that motherfucker. Can't say it without just wanting to kill myself.
Don't forget to smash that dick.
Smash
With a
your
hammer.
dick.
That Alex
You a-
Mercer dick.
With your big Alex Mercer.
Are you
blade,
bad enough?
hammer, whatever.
Long dick Alex
With
Mercer.
a sledgehammer? Clearly not.
Well, I think that's it, gentlemen. Have sex with Alex Mercer today.
What a great question.
You know, got quite a bit of mileage out of it too, more than you would expect.
I wonder. Let's see here.
You're looking up Alex Mercer porn, aren't you?
Shut up.
Poster tabs again.
Can never fucking remember how to spell.
I mean, I'm looking at
Hockey.
Tifa porn right now.
I think I need. Oh, yep, there it is. I see 134. What's this gonna get us? The fuck? One of them's a Mass Effect crossover.
Why? Oh my god damn it! We were supposed to not talk about Mass Effects.
It's okay. We're past the ending. We're
Yeah, you can edit this out.
I never stopped recording.
This is going in,
Well, yeah, because especially you said you were looking up Tifa porn. I'm keeping that.
dude. It's right there on V. I mean, it's more like cheesecake, not really porn, I guess, since it's on V.
I gotta say, a lot of this is really disappointing because like very little of it actually takes his powers into account.
That's not what's sexy about him, though.
What the fuck?
What's that one in the second row and the fourth one over?
What is that one? That one
Dave, what
scares
is
me.
that?
Oh God. The
Okay, see
fuck?
that one's classy and beautiful.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
The first image you posted, scroll fourth one over. What is that?
Fourth one over. Which row?
Second.
Second row. You mean the third one or the fourth one?
No, I mean the fourth one.
The really like pink one.
Very.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one too.
Sorry, I'm thinking fifth one. I can count. Yeah, that is oh boy.
Some of these aren't even what I would call porn.
Oh
But
my God. Who gets off on this? Like, what the fuck? I need to click away. This is disgusting.
you know what's really funny is that I clicked on. Right now, I have my laptop hooked up to my TV, but I have Discord on my laptop screen. So I clicked on Open
No, sir, I don't
Original,
like it.
and that opened up my internet browser, which was on my TV, and I have all the windows open and stuff.
Oh, good job.
Like, oh shit!
Keep it up. Just keep it up.
If your windows are closed.
Loud and proud. Start blasting some Ram Ranch.
My God, what's going on here?
Oh yeah, I was disappointed that I couldn't name my city in Crystal Chronicles Ram Ranch because there wasn't enough room.
God, not enough room for Ram Ranch?
Dude, they only give you
That's
7
limiting.
characters for every name. It's so stupid.
Dave, I don't like this picture.
I'm trying to figure out what's in it. Is that even his butt?
I think that's his dick.
I think this is
No,
Ah!
no.
Jeopardy, we have a